What's going on, guys? It's Super Mike back at it again with some more Spider-Man PS4 stuff for you guys. So, I didn't do this the first time. It's been a few months, so I figured, you know what? I'm gonna do a breakdown. I'm gonna do a breakdown of the Spider-Man PS4 demo that we got at E3. I didn't do it. Whew, let me just catch my breath for a second. I like planned that in the last like 5 seconds because I got the Spider-Man shirt on. But I bet some of you guys, before we start the video, I bet some of you guys are like, why is Mike doing this? Well, a lot of things have happened that has made me think a little bit. Has made me think about the way I view my channel, the way I view other people's channels, and the way that I think people see me. And a lot of people see me as this person who didn't really like the Spider-Man, the Spider-Man Homecoming thing that we got. And because of all the Spider-Man, Homecoming mumbo-jumbo I got into, it kind of weighed all on me, and then I kind of just let other people kind of take over. But then I thought about it. I sat here and I thought about it for months. And then last week, I thought I was part of something that, in reality, I was never a part of. And I came to the realization that it's gotta be just me. I gotta get the Peter Parker mindset. It's gotta be me. I'm the loner. I'm the lone wolf. I'm the guy who doesn't really work well with others anyway. So, you know what? I said, you know what? I love Spider-Man. I love talking about Spider-Man. And I don't care anymore about what your opinion is on that Spider-Man Homecoming movie, and I don't even care anymore about what my opinion is, because you know what? This game is very important to me, and I want this game to succeed. So, here we go. Here we go with the video. This is my breakdown of Spider-Man PS4. Let's begin. Now, of course, this is going to be my standard, me talking to a camera, so bear with me if you want to. I know a lot of you actually do, and some of you don't. But let's do this. So, let's start with the basic. Spider-Man. Who is the voice actor, Mike? Who is the guy who's gonna do the voice? Is it gonna be Josh Keaton? Is it gonna be Christopher Daniel Barnes? No, it's actually someone new. It's actually someone brand new. I've never heard of this guy before. This guy is a new voice actor for Spider-Man, and what we saw in the E3 demo, I think, and in the first trailer of the game, he sounds good. I like his voice, really I do. His name is Yuri Lowenthal. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But anyway, let's get into the game itself. So, Spider-Man's costume. Now, people, there's been rumors going around that people have been talking shit about the costume. First of all, I love the costume. I don't care if people think that the graphic design made it look, less better than it did in the last E3 trailer that we got. I don't give a fuck. I'm just glad I got to see gameplay. If that's the way they have to do it, that's the way they have to do it. I don't care. His costume looks great. I love the spider on the back. I love the spider on the front. I love how it's more of a white design. I really do. The eyes remind me of Civil War Spider-Man. I love it. I love the way they have designed this suit. It's just a brand new, completely unique design, and I just love it. I gotta get me a shirt. I saw on the internet someone had a workout shirt for the Spider-Man PS4. I was like, I want this. How do I get this? And I can't get it off of Amazon. But if I can't get it off Amazon, I'm gonna get that shirt, guys. I'm telling you, we're gonna get that shirt before the game comes out. We're going to have it ready when we play the game. And yeah, so anyway, let's continue. Let's talk about graphics. And I think I kind of already talked about it, but we're going to still talk about it. The graphics in this game look beautiful. Now, again, people saying that the graphics look worse than the last time. I disagree with that, because you got to understand, they have to like make the city, they have to render the cities, they have to do all this other stuff, so they have to make it work with Spider-Man's look. So if that is what happened, then they had to dumb it down for Spider-Man because he would stand out too much. And of course, some of you are going to say, oh, he should stand out, but not graphically. He should be able to blend in with the environment and for it to make sense. So graphics, again, look great. They look so good. I love how I see cars driving as we're like, you know, and granted, it could be a cutscene, but I think even when it's not a cutscene, I do see cars and stuff, you know, driving by and people walking the street. So it's good to see that, you know, no matter the distance, we can still see people on the ground. So I like that. I really like that. All right, so let's get into the HUD, the basic HUD of the Spider-Man PS4 game. So you got your standard health, which is in the form of a heartbeat monitor. I'm assuming if your health gets to a certain point, it's going to beep faster. Now that would be kind of cool and kind of a cool level of stressing you out, which would be kind of neat. I like it. All right, so what else we got? We got this gadget ability meter. Now, when Spider-Man used this gadget ability, it kind of you know, went down and he had to wait. I'm guessing there's going to be some type of gadget recharge ability so that you can't just spam gadgets. I'm thinking that we might be able to get more different types of gadgets, maybe even craft some gadgets. That would be awesome. All right, so what else we got in this HUD, Mike? Well, we also got the combo meter. The combo meter, pretty classic, I could say. It just kind of sits there. It doesn't move. I would assume that in the final product, what I would do is I would make that pop in and out for, you know, combat sections only, not stealth sections or web slinging sections. But if it stays, it stays. I don't care. It's kind of cool that it sits there. All right, so what else we got? We got the map. The map looks like a map. Nothing really else to describe the map. It's kind of, I like that it's like a blue, and then I think Spider-Man's like a red dot. I like that. I don't know if it's a spider. I forgot to see if it's a spider or not, but I don't know. And then in the corner, we got like, you know, things that pop up like web strike takedowns or, you know, perching, stuff like that. But I'll get into all that as we go on through the breakdown. All right, so what else do we got? All right, so now we get into the stealth section. And when Spider-Man's in stealth, he's kind of like he's standing up, but he's kind of like, you know, he's still got that like, you know, stealth look to him. I like that. I like that little detail. So, all right, so let's start with the first move that we see him perform. He uses a standard stealth takedown, and the webbing, I think when I watched this, I reacted to it. I'm pretty sure I said in my reaction video how this webbing looks really silky realistic in my opinion. I don't really pay attention to real-life spider webbing. In real-life spider webbing, it's like really clear, see-through. But you gotta remember, this is human-sized, so, you know, there's that, and there's the fact that, you know, they're using, I think, a silk look for it, which I really like. It really brings out like the whitish look for the webbing. I like it. I really, really like it. All right, so let me talk about perching, because I have an interesting thought, I think, about what this is essentially. So I think you're going to be able to use perching kind of like a web zip. You guys remember the web zips where you could web zip? Now, if you paid attention correctly, when you're watching the demo, when he web zips, he uses both hands. And in the bottom corner, when it says perch and the icon and everything pops up, it's L2 and R2. Now, I'm pretty sure they're going to keep this ability with Spider-Man for web slinging where he's going to shoot left, you hit L2. Shoot right, hit R2. So I think they're going to keep the same style, but what I think is you're going to be able to web zip with L2 with both hands. Now, this is just a theory and thought now. And you'll be able to maybe even do a double web zip so that you can go faster. That would be kind of cool. You'll be able to use your the L2 and R2, or use both to go faster, directional pads. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you would have more control over web zip abilities or possible things like that. So, I don't know. This is just, a theory and what I saw and what I gathered and what I absorbed from it. So, what else do we got? Perch takedowns. Now, no one really talks about which buttons you use. I'm here to tell you which buttons we saw that I'm going to tell you about. So when the icon popped up for him to do the perch takedown, it was square. Now that's interesting. I'm surprised that it's square and not like R1 or something like it was in the Amazing Spider-Man games. Square. So I don't know if this is part of the stealth mechanics or if this is only if you're in a takedown move or something like that. I'm not really sure. We'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of takedown moves in this game. But that's interesting that it's square. Okay, so enemy indicators. There are enemy indicators in this game, kind of like in the Amazing Spider-Man games where, they had the purple and the red. This time it's yellow and red, kind of standard these days. Yellow, standard, suspicious, red, they know you're there, time to go thing. But anyway, let's move on. So, you can interact with objects. Now, this is a really cool feature that they included. Before, you could interact with objects, by simply, picking up a garbage can or something along those lines. But this time, instead of R1, it's L1. So when he was on the perch part, and it was in the first part of the stealth, you said the icon pops up and says L1. So you pull it. So you press and hold L1, and he pulls it, and he knocks these two guys out. Now, this is cool because this is going to be used as more of a stealth thing. And I am really excited for that. I'm glad that we can use our, interactables more. And I'll talk about that more as I progress in this breakdown here. So, let's get into the fighting mechanics. The fighting. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, this is a ripoff from the Arkham games. This is a ripoff from the Mad Max games or any other type of fighting game like Shadow Mortar or the people are going to say that. But the one thing that this game has that those don't is the different button combinations. Guess what? I bet, what are some of you thinking right now? What is the counter button for Spider-Man PS4? It's not triangle. It's circle. The counter button is circle. It's not triangle. Now, what I gathered from this demo was probably, I'm guessing, using the directional pad. If you use the counter button, because let's say one guy tries to shoot at you, another guy tries to hit you at the same time, Spider-Man his spider sense will go off, everything will slow down, you'll have time to react, and he'll do this incredible move. And I'm pretty sure if you use the directional pad, you'll go forward, left, back, or right. So I think when you counter, you'll have more mobility. Before, in other games like Batman or Shadow of Mordor, when you use the ability to counter, you're kind of stationary. Now, the Batman games eventually tried to evolve to the point where you could essentially move around or throw the opponent so that you could keep moving. Yes, but in this game, Spider-Man will jump up in the air, you'll be able to move wherever you want, and you'll be able to counter. Now, that is cool. I like the fact that in this game, he's agile. He's very agile, because Spider-Man he's a very agile but strong character, and that's what I hope this game gets right, is the fact that he's agile and strong. And so far what I'm seeing, they're nailing it. They are nailing it. So, one thing I noticed is you can interact while you fight. Obviously, like in the Amazing Spider-Man games. There was something in the background, like a generator or something. I'm guessing you can pull it out or something. But we didn't really get to see the person who's playing use it. And also, there is a active finisher in this game. Yes, it is triangle and circle. You got me there. Alright, so let's move on. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, his fighting stance is so cool. It's the classy Spider-Man pose where he's like, you know, like sit, like, you know, he's like this. Like, I love it. Like it's so cool. It is. I'm glad that's his fighting stance. It's really cool. I don't think, what other games have he had fighting stances in? He's had it in the Amazing Spider-Man games. He's had it in the Shattered Dimensions, Shattered Edge, Spider-Man Edge of Time. Sorry, not a lot of games with you know, fighting stances. I like games, especially fighting games, that give you fighting stances, because that is a cool little detail. So it's really cool that they're using classy Spider-Man poses for this. All right, so let's move on to, drum roll, please. QuickTime Events! Crickets, crickets, crickets. Okay, so anyway, yes, there are QuickTime Events in this game. There are QuickTime Events. And I gotta say, the QuickTime Events are pretty easy, I would say. They look pretty easy to do. I don't know. I mean, this could work. Maybe. I don't know. You know. Honestly, I mean, personal opinions, QuickTime Events. They're not bad, because I like the fact that you can interact while you play the game. But hopefully this doesn't get stale. Hopefully they're able to mix it up. And keep you on your toes and make it entertaining, especially if you go for that second or third time playing the game and you just want to play it all over again, because I'm probably going to do it. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to web slinging. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, it's slow. The web slinging is so slow in this game. Well, I'm going to disagree, because as I was seeing him web sling and wall running, I think that they are going for more of a realistic type of web slinging rather than a, you know, type of web slinging where it doesn't make sense and you just randomly boost. You know, some games you can just randomly boost, like nobody's business. So I think you will still have to have this some type of boost ability, but I think it's going to be along the lines of a more realistic type of boost. Maybe you can use momentum. I think that would be cool, using momentum, like running on walls, jumping off of buildings, to use momentum to web sling, web zipping certain parts, to build momentum, to build speed. Because remember, he's an agile character when he's going very fast. So I think using momentum with actual momentum game mechanic, I think would be good for his web slinging and more realistic, you know, because sometimes when, you know, people try to pose in video games and they can't ever get a pose because, you know, the game thinks you're trying to just web sling. You know, let's say you just want to hang upside down. What if you can't because he keeps moving around? So I think that they're going for more of a, you know, again, like I said, more realistic approach to his web slinging. That way, you know, we can get, you know, a better, you know, and more realistic web slinging. Moving on. So, like I said, wall running, standard wall up, you know, run up walls, run on the side of buildings, standard stuff like that. Now we get to running through buildings. Now, when I saw this in the first trailer at E3 2016, I was like in shock. I was like, oh my god, look at him. He's like running and jumping off of tables and doing flips and shit. Like, it just looks awesome. And then he just web zips onto the helicopter. He makes a joke. I don't really remember the joke. And then he's on this helicopter. I think, based off what I saw from the helicopter, we might be able to get helicopter chases. That would be cool. You could just like jump on helicopters and take out enemies in the helicopters. The reason why I say this is because the player who's playing as Spider-Man in the game, in the demo, was taking a few seconds after he kicked that guy out of the helicopter and threw him in the other building. And then I'm guessing he jerks the analog stick left, and then he's inside. I think there's going to be helicopter chases in this. This would be really cool. All right, so what else can we talk about? All right, so that was pretty much the whole demo, all the way leading up with the him finally stopping the helicopter and getting to Mr. Negative, and Mr. Negative waking up. And that was pretty much the end of the demo. But then we got a little clip of Miles. I don't really want to talk about Miles. Again, I've already pretty much said my feelings on this. All I can say is, if I play as Miles, respectfully, if we end up playing as Miles, if Miles turns into Spider-Man, I'm going to break something. You're gonna see me take this fucking chair, and I'm gonna be like, fuck you, chair! And I'm gonna throw my chair out the window. If he doesn't, then I don't care if he's in the game. But most likely they're gonna go for that, and I don't know how I feel. If you're going to go for that, make it a little tease at the end or something so I don't have to deal with it. Because remember, what they're trying to do with this game is they're trying to make it more about Peter Parker. They're not trying to... I hope they are. I hope they're not trying to say that Spider-Man can be anybody or stuff like that. Because Peter Parker's Spider-Man to me. Peter Parker's Spider-Man to me. And that's all I have to say. Anyway, guys, that was my breakdown of the E3 demo. I went super in-depth with this. I went as far as to tell you the button combinations, to tell you the certain styles of gameplay, stances, the actor for Spider-Man. Like, I went above and beyond for you guys. So, I don't know how many more videos I'll do like this. If there's more news, I'll let you know. But until then, guys, I'm out of here. Up, and away. See you guys.